Yeah, so let us continue our contemplation from T68 onwards. Padmaji, you had a question. Please go ahead.
Yeah, yes, sir. So in T69, how to know if I am a Jeevanmukta? Guruji is talking about how to 3 aspects of us, where what do you think you are is in our mind, what others think you are is also in our mind, and what you really are, where he says that it has to be realized by you. That is the crux of that. What I want to ask is, there is also one statement which he makes is, a realized person does not know Brahman, but he is Brahman. So that was something which I didn't understand clearly. Yeah.
The example is, can the mirror ever see itself? The mirror cannot see itself. So seeing is becoming here. Therefore, seeing and becoming are one and the same. You are that.
Okay. One more question then. How I understood is, I understand this part that a mirror cannot see itself. But as Brahman, will you be still experiencing all this, or with the ego gone, you will not even experience?
So, okay, let's understand the notion of experience. What is experience in the first place? What you call as experience in the first place?
No, of course, that is the collective this thing of the mind and the sense organ, interpretation of the mind and sense organ experience, right?
Yeah. So let's slow down and look at experience itself. Right now, you are talking. And the speech is happening. The sound is coming out. It's a continuous flow. Now, there is a happening. That's a continuous flow. It's a stream. Now, there is a part of your mind that can stand and say, oh, what you're talking is a total wonderful sentence. Or, oh, what you're talking is total nonsense. That is not how it should have been said. Or this is not how it should be said. So there is a discussion, there's a thought about what has happened. What is experience? Experience is not while it is happening. While it is happening, it's an happening. I had wonderful mango juice. What a nice experience. The movie that you took me to, very good. So
that is after the happening.
During the happening is continuous flow. There is no break in that. Now, the one who is experiencing, one who says experience was good, bad, whatever the commentary may be, who is that experiencer? Is that experiencer a true entity, as in a real entity, something that is permanent? No. In that way, Brahman cannot experience. In that way, because it is because Brahman is only in the now. The one who is now talking about Brahman is a entity that has
separate from him.
Separate in the sense it is now observing, noticing, and it's the one who is noticing, who is watching, who is talking, who is giving commentary, is not a real entity. It's a mithya entity. It's a thought that has appeared in the consciousness of Brahman, and that thought will fade away. If I get associated with that thought, then I become that thought. You know, I have realized Brahman. Oh, I have seen Brahman. I am noticing Brahman. I know about the self. Then I have become separate from Brahman. And what is the existence for this entity? Where is the independent existence for this entity?
There is no existence.
Then this entity and Brahman have to be two entities.
Correct. And also it is again like thinking about the past, right? Something which has happened. So it is not in the now. Yeah.
Yeah. In the flow, there cannot be. It's like river water. You stand in the river water. You cannot hold on to some part of the river water and say, look, this is river, this is that river, this is Kaveri. You cannot say. The stream of flow is what you call as Kaveri.
Kaveri, correct. Yeah.
In that, which part is Kaveri? It's just a mind's, kind of a boundary. Oh, this is all Kaveri. But if you go a little deeper, which part of that water is Kaveri? What are you calling as Kaveri? Actually, there is no Kaveri.
Correct. Yeah.
And your nature is Brahman. And when that
so there is no so there is no need for that thought itself. So when you get rid of that thought itself and just be in the flow is where your true self, right?
Getting rid means what again? That thought may arise in the mind, depending upon the vasanas of the mind. That thought may come. So just notice that thought. Again, it's like water flowing in the river. There is no need to analyze that stream. Let the stream pass.
Okay.
So that glimpse, that what Ramana says, I, the awareness, when it is free from other attributes of the mind, other objects of the mind. In the mind, there can be so many other thoughts coming. Who am I? Who is that? What did that scripture say? What did this scripture say? So many analysis. All of this are, prior to the spiritual knowledge about, they said that, they said this, all that. Fundamentally, what are all they? Thoughts in the mind. There are objects in the mind. It's like on the table, I have so many objects. But I'm not becoming aware of the table. I'm becoming aware of the object when I'm noticing the thoughts. So here, the I is the awareness only. The light of awareness only is shining the objects on the table. But it is missing the table because the light is being used to focus on the objects. So when the focus turns inwards, then that light only is aware of itself. But there is no seeing per se. It cannot be another object to see. Awareness is not another object to see in this case. So therefore, that statement that you cannot see Brahman, you can realize through that seeing, like Maunam Vyakya Prakatita Parabrahma Tattvam Yuvanam. Mind has become silent, meaning the awareness is not being used to shine on the objects of the mind. The awareness is used to see itself in the sense that, I am that. I am that. And there is no one else to say that. And no one else to tell that. Recognition.
Yeah.
Does that bring clarity to your question? All right. Sarananji, did you want to add anything to that? Or ask anything to that?
No, I was just still thinking on the same.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wonderful. Then, we can continue from T68. I think 68 we had completed. 69 is what we had to begin with.
Yeah, 68 is talking about the types of students, where the level of the student is. right, who's able to grasp quickly, or like depending on the level, like what is the practice that is being prescribed. Yeah. 69 is where it's starting. Yeah. Who's Jeevanmukta again? Yeah. Yeah, it again goes back to the same thing that it's like how like I tell my name, or I respond to the name. It becomes one with the concept, or the truth becomes one with the seeker, right? It's not about, wow, like what others have to say, or uh, what I am thinking. It is like becoming one with that, one with uh, one with the truth, or one with um, Brahman, and becoming that Brahm. Yeah, yeah. It is a little bit difficult in the sense, it's more using language. I'm saying, but that becoming one, the Brahman, and um, because I don't know how it is, right? Still, I don't have that view um, of,
So just for a
from the
moment,
concept point of view. I say
just
that
for a moment, focus on that sentence as you're saying,
yeah.
I don't know how it is. So there is a certain concept already in the mind about how it is or how
Yeah.
it should be, and that never can be the truth.
Mm.
That's the very point that Padmaji brought up. That Brahman is not an experience.
Experience. Yeah. Mm.
It is not an experience. Then you can be saying, I don't know how it is. I have never seen Kailas Parvat. Okay, somebody can come and show you. See, this is Kailas Parvat.
Yeah.
When this experience happens, then you can say you've seen Brahman. Then it is a matter of experience. So in many cases, many so-called mystical experiences are associated as, oh, because we have seen many videos. I was sitting on the stone and suddenly everything dissolved and I had a wonderful experience. There is an experience part to it. But the experience, as you can clearly see, is a transient phenomena. It's coming and going
Yeah.
phenomena.
Yeah.
So therefore, the one who is saying, I don't know what it is still that entity which still is looking for some kind of an experience
Mm.
or has
Mm.
some notion of an experience.
Mm.
Yeah, please continue.
Yeah. Yeah. So it goes back to saying, like, you are that, right? What you're trying uh, to know, that one is you only, and which is by which is where, like, the guru comes and gives that with the 10th man story, right? The guru basically shows the path, but um, as you said, like it takes you to the door. Now the disciple has to cross, has to get in through Shravana, Manana, and Nityasa, right? Yeah. So I feel still that's where I am in terms of also knowing where. Uh, yeah. So one thing is like it's not about um, the the um, the materialistic things is where like you always get feedback from outside, and this one thing is like about uh, what you feel, and like what you realize. It's not about from outside. Nobody is going to tell you that, is going to tell you that, right? So
But the indicators, what are the indicators?
yeah, indicator is definitely um, the clarity and peace and joy, right? In the sense like unshaken and like unquestionable clarity. Um, Again, I will go back to the same thing as the mirage, the way I see the mirage today, or the blue sky. Right? And now that I know this, but that is the one one has to uh, one has to the knowledge of Brahman has to become like that. But this is easy because it's an object, and here it's not an object. So
It's
yeah, I
a
think
very subtle shift. It's a very subtle shift,
yeah.
but so subtle that it feels extremely uh, difficult, feels extremely spaced out, and lot of effort is needed.
Hmm.
So that's where you would have heard the phrase, there is nowhere to go, nothing to do.
Yes.
The distance to self is zero.
Zero.
So in one sense, it absolutely doesn't feel right at all. Then what is the point of all this, whether it is Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasa, or all the effort? How can there be nothing to do, nowhere to go? If I hadn't done all this Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasa, I wouldn't even recognize this statement. Where did all that effort go? So that's where it's a paradox, and acceptance of that paradox is the true liberation. The paradox is self never had the question, the big self, and the self who has a question will never find the answer.
Yeah, no. So this has been running in my head for a while now. It's like something like I'm like with every knowledge I try to it results in some advantage. Without knowledge you will suffer, so some advantage. And here the knowledge cannot lead to advantage, because the knowledge is for that small self, and like that small self can never enjoy that like it doesn't exist or right. So
because in the world, the knowledge is used to gain something.
something.
Here, the knowledge is not to gain. Here, the moment the knowledge comes, it is to drop. And what are we dropping? Only dropping the notion, only dropping the association that I am something else. So in that way, the knowledge is not getting dropped. See, the one
knowledge
who
is
says,
not getting.
the one who I think I am. See, that's why these three are very important. Others recognition. Others. This is a wonderful game that Prabhuji makes us play. So you don't see, but there is a cap on your head. Okay. And you are paired with another person. And the other person cannot tell you, but has to interact with you as if you are whatever, on the cap, there's a name written. So they have to, they cannot speak. They cannot tell you, okay, this is the name written. They have to act with you. Or they can do mimicry. Mimicry as in all that dumb charade.
Dumb charade.
You are constantly looking at the dumb charade and you are guessing who this is, who this is, who this is, who this is.
Who do you think? Who are you thinking that I am?
So that is how, look at it, that is how we grow the notion of who I am in life. Because as a little child, that's exactly how it is.
Yeah.
You have no clue about what you come into. They have to constantly reinforce. You're a boy, you're a girl, you're a man, you're a woman, you're a Hindu, Muslim, whatever it is. So constantly reinforced. And then I developed the concepts of who I think I am. Look, you would have received so many messages. Some messages might have said you are very beautiful. Some messages might have said you are very ugly. Some messages might have said you are very intelligent. Some would have said you are idiot, stupid. But you have picked up and you created a notion. I am this. I am that. I am not that. I am not this. I cannot. See, all this is picked up. So which means what? Whatever that is coming from that I, that pure I, has got connected to certain pieces. And that is who I think I am. Both are incorrect. And so therefore Sadhguru's recognition that you are that comes in as another outside recognition.
Again.
It is still Guru is saying that I am that ante. It is still an ante. Guru is saying I am Brahman. Oh, I am Brahman. But that is the power of that thought that, this is the Brahma with Brahmaiva Bhavati. Brahmara Kita Nyaya. We have talked about this story so many times. Brahmara Kita Nyaya. Kita becoming Brahmara. So this is not in physical reality kind of a thing. You've never been anybody else. You've never been anything else.
And that is why that the part about putting an effort also is very contradictory sometimes, right?
The small self is putting all the effort.
What effort is there?
That's why see the wonderful nature of all these stories. They make sense when you come to certain clarity. Salt dal story.
Yeah.
Salt doll wants to find out what is ocean. But that's the only way salt doll can also become free in life.
Free. Yeah.
So that's why it's also shown as, a snake eating its own tail. As a snake consumes, what is it consuming? So all these, all that at that point, if I still use my mind to imagine, okay, as it consumes, what happens? Where is the consumer?
But still,
Yeah.
the thing is, small in the transactional plane, and the small self is the one who's doing all the action, because the big self has nothing to do. It just like shines.
Yeah.
As Brahman just keeps shining, but
Even
all the action.
the small self is not doing. The small self is only coming to take a claim, and that is the clarity you receive through, okay, what really is happening.
Yeah, yeah. That way these days I'm constantly reminding myself, which gives me, which is giving me peace in the sense, when I reach a point where I have to make a decision, I'm telling that it is already planned. It is about my attitude on how I take it. It is not because of me, the small self, that this is happening. And the the Maya operates the system in such a perfect manner. It is perfect in the sense there can never be anything wrong. So what I think I chose, I may claim that like I did all the research and I decided that I will take this path, but it was already chosen based on the karma, and I don't need to have the anxiety of whether it will work out, it will not work out, because whatever is the outcome, it is 100% perfect. So which basically relieves me from that anxiety, or like focus on that outcome, right? So these 2 points I keep, these days I keep reminding myself. It helps. At least the small self is being told that, okay, don't worry, it's like you may think you are driving, but like someone else is pushing from behind. You think you are selecting it, but someone has put that thought in you that like, go right, take right. Right.
So one is the attitude that it's all predestined, and there is absolute acceptance of whatever the outcome.
Outcome, yes.
No resistance.
Yes, because
That also frees you.
Yeah.
Another one is, in this given moment, the future is not necessarily already ordained. There is still a conscious power in you to choose a path towards your own self-realization. So that's the little bit of free will, which takes you back to the source. Is not necessarily predetermined in one sense. As long as you are in the plane of karma, what you mentioned earlier, it's predetermined based on the past. The next comes. However, the escape route is present all the time.
All the time. Yeah. The eject button is with you all the time. If
The eject button is only with you. Because then, once when you truly eject, like you were saying, it really doesn't matter. In the sense that it truly doesn't matter. Whatever whatever is the water coming, it's all the stream. There's a nature of that stream. I don't have to widen my arms and hold that water.
Hmm.
All right. So in silence, we cannot take next steps. Silence is the end of the journey. So right now we are doing manana.
So one more thing I found a little bit contradictory is like in many scriptures, in many places, many great masters say that your thoughts are your world, right? Your thoughts shape your world, or whatever is your world is shaped by your thoughts. Is one way of thinking. And yesterday I was seeing one video of Swami Chinmayananda, where he asks you to think without an object, can there be a thought at all? And he did one very small exercise. He says that, we say that thoughts are coming. No, thoughts are why I am like this, or, it keeps coming. I cannot control it and whatever. So he was saying that if suppose I say a word to you right now, like turtle or swan or whatever, then only the thoughts will come relating to that particular word. Till that time, you are not thinking about that, say turtle or whatever. You're not thinking about the turtle. But the moment I say turtle, there are so many thoughts coming. And if there are 10 people, 10 different thoughts will come about that same turtle, that word. So that way, if there is no object, there is no thought, means then how is it true that your thoughts shape your world, or your world is the result of your thoughts? How do we arrive at that?
So first of all, where is world from your viewpoint?
Yeah, in my mind, of course. Yeah.
In your mind, how can it appear? Only as a thought.
Yeah, so I am asking you, like, what is the object because of which thought comes? If what he says is true, that without any object you cannot have a thought, then why is it like, what is our object because of which the thought even comes first? Is my
so that is why sarvam khalvidam brahma. The world that appears is the substance, the object for the world is also Brahman only. And the thought that appears is also Brahman only. And the one who is seeing it is also Brahman only. Because the material, okay, so now, this is an interesting way of looking at it. The material for, say, a book is, say, paper. Material for paper is tree. Material for tree is the seed. And that grows by earth and everything. But fundamentally, the essence, and the essence is subtle. It cannot be seen. So now we are transitioning from a gross to the subtle. And at the subtle level, it is nothing but energy only. So all the phenomena that occurs is energy only. And the source of energy is consciousness only. That is why it is shown as Shiva and Shakti. Ya Devi Sarva Bhuteshu. So in that shloka, you find various praises to Devi. How Devi appears as everything. All the transient phenomena, all the transient means what? Something that appears and disappears. Yeah. All the transient phenomena. Fear, anger, joy of eating, mango, table, book, all is Shakti only. And where is Shakti? In Shiva only. So now to bring our Advaita example, in the dream world, what is the source of the dream characters? They appear so real. They are so real. They were flying, they were moving, they were, it felt so real. What is the source of those characters? What is the material for those characters? No other explanation than to say you only. So the dream world characters are you only. This waking world, this Maya is even more potent, that consciousness only is the material. Is not very apparent. But see it this way. Is it ever possible for you to say that the world is outside of me? No way.
No.
Absolutely no way. You have always known the world only within you. Only within you. And the way you've been interpreting the world is only within you. All the people, all the stars, all the galaxies, all the things that you've ever known, ever experienced, is all only within you. So there is no other way to say that it is nothing but you, because they appeared and disappeared. There is no independent existence for them. There is no way to say that they, it is independently existing from you. You are only certain of your own existence. Existence. You have no doubt about your own existence, not as a body. Yeah, as you, awareness. That independent existence, in that independent existence, some object appears. Where is it appearing? Only in the mind. As what? As sensations. What is sensation? Nothing but energy, movement of energy. What you think is a gross, what you think is a gross object is nothing but sensation. You know it only through sensation. Because you are giving an independent existence meaning in your mind to it. It seems to exist independent of you as an independent object. Otherwise, it doesn't really exist. Ravana is a bad person, is a meaning given independently in the mind. Where is Ravana truly? As far as you and I are concerned as of now, as far as you are concerned as of now, where is Ravana? Ravana is a thought in your mind. Now, who is Ravana? Because Padma has been taught Ramayana, Ravana has a certain meaning, certain boundary, certain shape. I go to Africa, they have never heard Ravana. I tell the same word Ravana. The word Ravana has no meaning, no story. Ravana now is an empty sound. It's a sensation that falls into the ear of that African and just goes away. Very much like I come and say, Klabattu. Klabattu has no meaning to you. It's a mere sensation that appeared and disappeared. If I keep on repeating Klabattu, Klabattu, Klabattu and say, Klabattu is our supreme reality. So now you start imagining supreme reality. Okay, so supreme reality. So so the existence for that object, the only place for that object is in your memory. And the shape is given by your own mind's conditioning. Outside of that, there is a world impossible. So now coming back to your question, therefore, the substance for this so-called waking world Again, this is through the viveka. This is not, it cannot be shown to you physically. Just like the viveka that you applied, that during the sleep, the dream characters are through the dreamer only. During the waking world, through this analysis, you have no other option but to come to the only choice, which is must be you. So therefore, what you are is what the world. You see the world in your own reflection. When somebody says they are very, very cunning, they are not cunning. There's a conditioning called cunning, and there is a yellow color glass called cunning that that one who is making that statement is wearing to make that statement. So cunningness is the glass through which the world is being seen. The world is not cunning. The river water is not good or bad. River water is. It is. That's all. Because ultimately, it's only sensations that come into you. The world comes into you as sensation. Everything else is being made up by you and you. Whatever they may say, whatever they may do, whatever smells, everything is at the end of the day, through your own viveka that it's all nothing but sensations only. So the sensations have no meaning, and the magic of the Maya is such that as soon as the sensation comes, the whole apparatus called the mind springs into action. So we know there are 4 parts to the mind. There is mana, it is called antakarana. Mind in Sanskrit is called antakarana. Antakarana. Karana means the instrument, anta, inner. The subtle inner instrument is called antakarana. Mana, buddhi, chitta, ahankara. 4 parts. These 4 function so rapidly that it's difficult to notice it while it is in action. That is the power of meditation. Meditation slows the mind down to be able to notice. Mana. The sensations are coming and being shown on the screen. That is the function of antakarana called mana. Buddhi. Buddhi is already there with you. And the function of buddhi is to discriminate, to judge. Without knowledge, buddhi cannot discriminate. Small baby, klapatu, no reaction. Big baby, klapatu is supreme reality. Big baby, oh klapatu. That discrimination, the power of discrimination is already there within you. Buddhi is already there within you. You already have the ability called discrimination. But the content for the discrimination is what you call as the conditioning. That is the chitta. That is the chitta, memory. Without memory, discrimination doesn't work. That is your hridaya. Operate from the heart center. You're not using the chitta to discriminate. That purity, that innocence, because that is your true nature. You're not bound by the memory, is what hridaya really means. You're not bound by the memory. You're not operating in the current moment based on the memory. I see him, oh, he is that rowdy fellow, silly fellow, how he insulted me that day. Let him come. So then I am operating still by the memory. So that is chitta. Ahankara. You know who I am? That is what? Here. What I think I am. Who I think I am. I am the father. How can my daughter speak like this? I am the boss. How can my subordinate speak like this? who I think I have become at that moment, that ego entity. So it is these four entities, mana, buddhi, chitta, ahankara. They're all within you in the antakarana. They're all, where is antakarana? Within the self only. And the self has no connection, or the self has no judgment. This is how antakarana should function. Electricity has no determination of how the instrument should function. Electricity just flows. Depending upon the instrument, nature of the design, it functions in one way or the other. But in the antakarana, the beauty is to become free. The same buddhi, which was used to dissect the sensations of the world and to judge the world, can be used to detect, there is something higher that is powering all this. And who's the one who says I'm suffering? So to be free from the suffering, the same buddhi, same discrimination, now uses the Atma Jnana. That's also Jnana. That's also in the Chitta only. That's also
that's also memory.
That's also in the memory. So memory is not bad. But usage of the memory in the right way is what Jeevanmukta's ability is. Meaning what? So Brahmavid, Brahmaiva Bhavati. So no more the reflecting entity. There is still a reflecting entity. When you see from the Vyavaharika plane, there is still a Jeevanmukta. There is still a Prabhuji who walks and talks and speaks and interacts. Is an independent entity from the standpoint of an outside observer. But that independent entity now has lost the deep association to the ego entity called I'm a Hindu, I'm a Muslim, I'm a mother, I'm a father, I'm good, bad. So the identities, the false identities have withered away. That's all the difference is. Still the reflection is happening. Still that pot is there, in which the sun is still shining through the water. The pot will continue depending upon the prarabdha. So the pot now is reflecting the pure self. I mean, is it really pure in the sense of as pure as the sun? Not necessarily. The water has become now free from all the contamination. There is still functioning. So now the functioning will be recognized by the outside as Loka Kalyana functioning. And that functioning may be still judged by another one as, oh, this is all bunkam. Oh, is this the way the Jeevanmukta should be? So still there is judgment going on. But none of it matters. Padmaji, is this bringing clarity, Padmaji?
Yeah, yes, sir. Yes. Yeah, I'll also think more. Because as I listen, these kind of questions keep coming, like especially this thought one. I also used to practice a lot of affirmations and things like that. So I will do it with I used to do it with the view that, my thoughts should change, especially for health. I will always say many things to affirm so that the thoughts change the patterns of whatever is coming in terms of health and stuff. And then when I saw this video, then I thought, okay, what is the object based on which these thoughts are arising, and how did it begin? Those kind of thinking started. That's why I brought it up today.
So see, the way you see the world is the way the world interacts with you.
Yeah.
World is a mirror of you. That's all. So therefore, the world can be as cruel as you think it is. Yeah. The world is as kind as you think it is.
You think it is. Yeah. Yeah.
The world is really a mirror for you.
Yeah. One of the things that one constant statement, Aditya is now 15. For the last 15 years, one of the things he will say is whenever he goes and meets anybody, right? Like when he had his first class with you, when he met Purnima ji, when he interacted with Gayatri ji, with Guru ji, or with any of his teachers in school or any friends also, I will say, so how was it? He will say, they were very kind. They are very kind. This is one constant statement from childhood. It has come, and I used to think, okay, I never uh, said anything regarding kindness or anything. How did he figure this out? And I thought, okay, it is related. Initially, I used to think it is related to just one person, like he had that experience, but I found that it is uniform to him. Like whoever he meets, that is like his thing about them. Like, they are very kind. My friend is also very kind. He will say, I may not have the same view, but he will say that. But I used to feel that is very, after all this, study circle and all this, I used to think that's such a nice thing to say about anybody. That says so much about how you think of them as well. So that's also a thought, right? So it's a nice thought.
Yeah. So whatever I say is a reflection of my own inner conditioning. Sarananji, you wanted to say something?
So so these thoughts, right? Sometimes, not sometimes, always, I get into this mode of whether to entertain a thought or drop it. And then you like try to go further and say, like, why did that thought even come? Right? What is the source of the thought? Yeah. And always there are no irrelevant thoughts. It has to be, a thought is always relevant in the sense it is related to some experience in the past. Right. So as you said, like Klapper 2, it doesn't come like a thought. Okay. So it has to, if I hear it again and again, maybe like it will become a thought one day. And like when the thoughts come, this the mind like becomes like a executor of that, right? In the sense, whether like some thoughts they become stronger, you go do it, or like sometimes the thought is maybe a weak, you will say like just drop it, but it is coming. So that means like, is it um, that means like there is an option available
To transform the thoughts. And that is exactly what we are doing through our study circles. Any knowledge has a transformative ability, any knowledge. So whatever knowledge I accept and integrate into my blood cells, meaning I digest that. See, that is why it is called as, the way to teach is, there is a Shravana, is like you eating the food. Manana is a digestion process. Nididhyasa is where it has become your arms and limbs and eyes and flowing as energy. So now it has become you. So Shravana, Manana, Nididhyasa is very much like eating food. So the digestion process. So where is the digestion happening? Where is the correction needed? In the thought process, in the buddhi. And what is the material it is using for deciding till now? Whatever the stories it has heard. The child is very innocent. Child has complete trust.
Yeah.
Because trust.
Sir, is it wrong then? Is it wrong?
What is wrong?
You said no, like what we think or what we when we change the thoughts, we also use there is a basis on which we decide that this thought is negative or positive, right? It is based again on our conditioning.
Correct.
Okay.
And what you call as negative, that which results in some kind of unhappiness is what we generally call as negative. That which results in some kind of a positive emotion is what we call as positive thought.
Yeah, but this is for yourself, right? Now you have some responsibilities, right? For example, you say you are earning for your family members as a male, or as a female, you are doing certain things for others around you. Okay, so whether you do that action to get the money or not, it is depending upon you, right? You take the decision that yes, I want to earn for my family, so I have to do this. Okay, say you are not doing it. So for me, because I have a conditioning that a father has to go and earn or whatever, that is the basis for me to say that, oh look, he's fulfilling his responsibility properly as a father or whatever. That is my judgment which is telling that you are a good father. Okay, suppose if I didn't have that conditioning and you didn't go to work, so is it right of me to even say that you are not doing your responsibility or what? That is again based on my this thing only, no?
Yeah, so let's frame the question properly. So judgments or statements are based on conditioning. So is there anything called as a right and a wrong?
Yeah, right conditioning itself, I am saying.
Correct.
Like some families may believe in certain things. It might come from whatever source, maybe generations it has been followed or whatever.
In the Vyavaharika plane, in the plane of transaction, the right thought has to be guided by Dharma. Okay?
Okay.
In the Vyavaharika plane. Now, what is Dharma? That which brings about a harmonious environment. For who? Harmony itself indicates for as many as possible.
Yeah, not only you, for everybody around you.
So therefore, whenever you're in the Vyavaharika plane, the right thought is how to decide whether it's a right thought or wrong thought. Is it bringing a harmonious outcome? That's the way to decide the Vyavaharika right.
Okay, what if you like for a few it is right and for a few they think it's wrong? Then how do you decide?
That is the very nature of Mahabharata Yuddha. Pandavas thought, they are Dharma war. Even Kauravas thought they are on the side of the Dharma. So there is no answer to that. You are Duryodhana. The only way is to realize, what I am doing, is it truly Dharma? It is for me as Duryodhana to ask that question. It is me as Arjuna to ask that question. So Arjuna, he had the deep desire. Is it truly right what I'm doing? So therefore Bhagavad Gita came about to show him what is Dharma, what is Adharma. Dharma is what? That which is done in accordance with the universal laws. That which brings about a natural harmony must be Dharma. So it
doesn't matter if others think you are not doing right. As long as in your heart you know you are right, you still do it no matter what.
Because even a terrorist, forgive for bringing the example of terrorist, a terrorist truly believes he is doing the right thing.
He has become...
He is willing to give up his life itself. When he goes as a bomber, see, look at the conditioning of that.
But sir, are you saying that they can't see that they are not in harmony? Is that how it is?
Because what is the story he has believed in? He has believed in the story that when you kill others and you still exist in some way, and you'll go to a place called heaven, and there you have glorious things waiting for you. He has got himself firmly invested in that story. And it's an unshakable story. It's a story that, is such a great faith in. Such a great faith that he's willing to give up his, oh, this is okay. When I die like that only, I go there. It's a deep conditioning of the mind, where the mind has lost the ability to ask some simple fundamental questions. You've you can very easily condition anybody like that, no? It's not to say in only one particular region or one particular religion. It happens everywhere. That human mind can be deeply conditioned. So now see the wondrous nature of the jnana by the rishis. They're giving you complete choice, at the same time constantly prompting you to question. And only when you yourself are ready, give up the question, is what they suggest. Cannot be enforced, because the flower can bloom by itself only. So therefore, coming back to your fundamental point, right and wrong in the Vyavaharika plane, there's a guidance in the manner of dharma. And what is dharma? That which is in harmony with nature. So therefore, it naturally brings about right outcome. It is like saying that the example can be given in the form of Amma's life story. That the brother of Amma wanted to murder Amma. Why? He thought Amma's behavior is not in tune with his family culture. What he understood as dharma, he acted according to that only. Because what is dharma in the first place? Dharma is what? Is nothing but action. You define dharma as conduct. Dharma is nothing but conduct. What is conduct? Fundamentally action. And what is the basis of action? Some kind of a knowledge. So he thought that is his dharma, to stop her, to obstruct her, to kill her if she doesn't accept. He truly believed in that. But it is not in harmony, in tune with our universal dharma. Therefore, when he tried to execute that action was stopped. Because it is not in harmony with the universal dharma. So it naturally withered. So in that way, nature always encourages you to look at it from the natural viewpoint. Look at you. You naturally tend towards peace, harmony. Even the killer, even the worst killer, somewhere starts feeling, all this death and destruction. Why does yesterday we spoke about the story of Bahubali. He fought with his brother Bharata Chakravarti. For what? To become a Chakravarti. He fought and he won. And in that defeat of his brothers accepted his defeat. Bahubali could have felt, oh, I'm the winner. But in that victory, he saw his own true defeat. That when I subjugated someone, through power I subjugated, what kind of a Chakravarti I am? That fellow now is no more part of me. He never will consider me as a true Chakravarti. See, it's a very subtle point, but that was a realization. And he then, whatever he did and whatever he became, then he is recognized as Mahavira. We now not call that Bahubali as a Mahavira. We call that one who's standing without any clothes as Mahavira, who gave up everything as Mahavira. So that very thought was dharma. That, this moment have not truly won. That is dharma. And that's naturally there. That's naturally there. That kindness is the inherent nature of every being, is naturally there. It is not a taught behavior. So it comes naturally. So the ability to kind of see this nature's nature is dharma. So therefore, to guide your thoughts in the world, in the Vyavaharika plane, there is dharma as your guide. Sarvadharman parityajya mamekam sharanam vraja. Aham tva sarva papebhya mokshayishyami ma shuchaha. Ultimate reality of life is beyond all this duality, because dharma is still in the plane of duality. It's still, there's an action. It's in the plane of action. Beyond the plane of action is Parandhama, Parabrahma. You beyond the dharma, beyond all this dharma adharma conflict. But when you're functioning in the world, when your conduct is in accordance with dharma, then there is total peace and harmony within you. When you do to others what you would like to be done to you, you naturally feel nice. You have no conflict. What is the way you know it is adharma? You feel a conflict. You feel some craziness within you, some irritation, some anger, some frustration, some pain, something. Does that bring clarity, Padmaji?
Yes, sir. Yeah.
All right.
We have to pour more and more of this knowledge into the mind so that the thoughts will come related to this and not the other ones. What that Brahmavid Brahmaiva Bhavati goes there, right? What goes in is what keeps coming out. The more I entertain other things, then the thought related to this becomes diluted. So either don't put anything or put related to this, so that you become.
That's why Prabhuji keeps saying, no, spirituality is not a once in a month affair.
Yeah.
See, till that stability comes, no, it's like any practice. Till the complete mastery of the cycling comes, one has to keep practicing.
Yeah. Now, no, sir, after 2 years, even if Saturday, Sunday, you don't keep class, right? It feels very empty. You're looking forward to it. So I was happy that day that, oh, wow, you have this thought because you're missing it. It's not like, you're doing it for the sake of doing, and that clarity is also there.
Yeah.
Sir, one more question I had.
Yes.
Maybe we can take it up next week and know the thoughts of everybody else also. What I thought, what the question is, you have a thought, whether it is positive or negative, forget about it, and there is an action. Okay, so is a thought in itself, is it right or wrong, depending upon that? And should I think about the thought itself, whether it is right or not, or only if that thought is translated into action, then that effect is there? Is something that I have been again contemplating.
The simplest answer is, you have the choice to choose the thought.
Yeah, so that means essentially the thought that I choose to act upon is the one that is getting converted into action. No, every thought is
ultimately, why do you entertain any thought? Because you want a manifestation of that. Where is the manifestation happening? In the world. For world to manifest something, thought has to be there. So now, who is the one who's choosing the thought? You. And the universe is just a empty board, empty canvas, which whatever is your thought that you give power to, it manifests that.
Okay, suppose a thought comes and you are going through certain emotions because of that thought, or certain sensations. wherever it is, because of that thought. Okay, you are not acting on it, but still it has a certain amount of effect on you.
Correct. That is because you are letting it stay. So for example,
suppose I am angry at somebody.
Yeah.
So even if you don't, even if you try to say that, okay, I am not going to shout, or I'm not going to act on this thought, still there is some changes within you, physically, emotionally. So is that still considered as acting on it, or it is like, I feel that I'm trying to deal with that thought in my way, like it could be moving out of that place or whatever, but even if I move out, it's not like immediate transitioning into a very satvika thought, right? You still carrying that whatever, I mean, whatever
Correct.
you went
No,
through.
but in order to understand this, you have to take one step back. In the first place, how did the anger arise? Anger arose because certain action was done by the other, which came into you as a sensation. And when that sensation came into you, you had a certain, you decided something. You decided, you judged it in one way.
See, okay, what if it is just your children not studying or something? There is no, I mean, I cannot say that that thing was wrong, right? The anger is not wrong at that moment. I don't want to act on it, but still it is having, I mean, it's having some effect on me.
Correct.
Physically and emotionally.
Let us understand the mechanism. Then you see what is the right way to act. Mechanism is very simple. Mechanism is always there is a sensation coming, and depending upon your own conditioning of the mind, you now give a judgment. Take two kinds of conditioning. Let's say you are a complete, let's say some kind of a person who has never really gone to college. You've not studied anything at all. For you, working with the plants and animals is a very good and wonderful education. And you see your son sitting there playing with the stones. Will you get angry? No. Why? Because for you it's quite natural. Now let us take another situation. You are this well-educated college pass out who has seen that college degree matters a lot. Now you see the same son sitting with the same stones. You have a issue with the son's behavior. Why? Because of the conditioning. Okay. Now this is the mechanism you need to understand. Based on this conditioning, thoughts arise. And when the thoughts arise, I also have associated emotions with it. Depending upon, especially when it is connected to me and mine. Okay. See, another child sitting and playing with the stones may not make me feel so angry. But my child playing with the stones, when I'm a college mother versus this mother, there's a different reaction. So what this whole interpretation or this whole scene that I painted indicates is that the thought process is not a truth. The thought process is depending upon the conditioning. Now, but let's ask the question. Okay, so now how one should take the next step? Very simple. In that given moment, depending upon your own conditioning only, you can take the next step in life. There is no other way. There is no other way. Okay, so this other mother who has not gone to the college cannot imagine what it is to be learned and then act. This other mother also cannot really, either of them can only imagine, oh, if I had gone to college, I would be, oh, look at her, what a nice English she speaks. I would be speaking like that. Maybe I will help my child to be really wonderful. Maybe I'm such a bad mother. Maybe the thought process. This mother may be thinking, oh, look at how simple they're so happy all the time. Even when playing with stone, look, how nice they look, so relaxed they look. All my college, what did it do? But neither of them knows the other side. It's just an imagination. So like that, thought process can lead you anywhere. Okay. But what is the source of the anger? Krodha bhavati sammoha. Sammoha smriti vibramaha. So what is the source of the krodha? Is me and my thoughts. I and me thoughts. Okay. My child not doing something that I think should be doing. So anger, source of anger is when I see certain action being performed, which is not in accordance with my own, how the action should be, is where the discrepancy is. Okay. This much is the understanding of the mechanism. Now, the other question, is it right or wrong? It really depends upon what you have as a feeling towards the other. Is your feeling for the display of anger? Is it for the welfare of the other? Then certainly you can act angry. To be angry and to act angry are two distinct things. As a policeman, your duty is to hold the stick and to hit the person who's trying to create a chaos. So you have to perform your duty. But while performing your duty, you are not that which you are playing the role. So you are not the mother who is scolding the son. You are right now playing the role of a mother. That will keep you completely disengaged from becoming angry. No more than you are angry. Now you are playing the role of an angry mother. So you playing the role of an angry mother versus you becoming angry are two distinct approaches.
I still don't have clarity on to be angry and then
To be angry is there is no more this two doors, two rooms. You are angry through and through.
Okay, so then you don't have control over your actions is what you're saying.
Yes.
There is no discrimination.
Whereas to play the role of an angry mother, see, this is who you are always. This is how you are inside. And this one can act like this or can act like this. Makes no difference. Because here, there is absolute peace and freedom. Here, you do according to whatever is appropriate for the given situation. But when you're doing this, when you are doing this, you have no worry. Oh, why did I become angry? I'm such a bad mother. Why did I scold? I'm such a bad mother. No such things. You know fully well you are acting. Like a small child, it is angry at the friend, comes to you, gives you so many complaints. Very next moment, you see the both of them playing with each other. I mean, it's just to give an example of how an innocent child behaves. But as an adult, what it means is to realize you are not any of the roles you are playing. Play the role to the best possible effect. For whose benefit? For whoever you think is the other and whatever you think is their benefit. That is the true dharma. That is the service. You're seeing the other and you always are looking for the best of whatever that can happen to the other. A police is not beating you because he likes beating you. He's beating you because you're creating a confusion and chaos and he doesn't want others to be hurt. So he is willing to give up his own body in protection of others. That is the duty that he signed up for. That is the dharma that he said, I will fulfill. As a mother, you have taken up a dharma that I'm going to make the best possible efforts to bring the best possible child who is an offering to this country. So in that standpoint, you are doing whatever you're doing. But knowing fully well, you're not the doer and you're not the enjoyer. Knowing fully well, all this is the drama that continuously changes.
The attachment is the root of the problem.
Yes.
The thing
That
is,
is why a sannyasi.
hmm?
That is who a sannyasi is. The one who has, see, that's why he has created two distinct rooms. And there are two distinct, two distinct doors. And he's constantly in this. And he knows he also has to be here. He has to play a role here. Here there is no role play. Here there is various roles to be played. And that is a sannyasi. Does that make sense?
Sometimes to me, like, when I think more on these things, the whole order or the system, belief system, like shakes, in the sense, what you look at as a gain, for me, if I'm happy, then like I can think like, yeah, but it comes from the loss of someone else. Like when you take something, yeah, so I got it happy, but like maybe like it's coming at a loss of someone else. Or let's say you say that, oh, the child has got the first rank, meaning like, oh, so that means like you're saying that like someone, you're pushing someone out below, right? It's kind of like, slowly that what excited like stops exciting.
However, it's absolutely fine to encourage everyone to do their best. So there's a wonderful little story. There's a beggar, and one mother is telling the child, see, if you don't study, you'll become like a beggar. The other mother is saying, study well and help this person to realize he's not a beggar. Same situation, one can have two distinct attitudes of life. And it's the attitude that makes all the difference within you at the end of the day.
Yeah.
So an observation that, okay, so when one is becoming number one, the other is not number one, is like looking at, okay, that's the end of it. But why did I want this person or this child to be number one? Because this person has shown the capability to be number one. And now can I help this other child who is number one to kind of include the others also and not necessarily feel that I am number one and I'm something different. Padmaji sings better. Another person interprets better. So each one has their strength. I cannot expect, one child to be like another child. But I can always encourage strength of one child to shine more and to see how it can be helpful for the other child. Then this child may not necessarily feel superior, that child may not necessarily feel inferior, because I can help you in one and I can help you in another. So the idea is, if it is a competition, it's a problem. Cooperation.
Yeah. Yeah.
And in a team, we always look at, this is your strength, this is your strength. Each one plays to their strength, and that's how the team as a whole is much bigger than the individual.
Yeah.
So you should win, they should win, I should win. That attitude brings a win-win-win. How can you look for a win-win in all situations? Is what is dharma?
Yeah. But yeah, it's just that the world outside is so strong, dominating, that like the truth, you have to hold on to the truth strongly and always
Yeah. If it is
stay with it.
not, it will anyway give you the message. That's why Prabhuji keeps calling this as university. So lessons keep coming to us till we become stable in that lesson.
Yeah.
And it comes in so many subtle variations and so many subtle, the conditioning of the mind. One is to, during the manana process or during the Shravana process, to become aware of it. But when it is acting, so shown simply as a picture is easy. But to become established in that, that's where the maja of life is.
Yeah, it's a big it's a big challenge for the small eye.
Yeah. And that, see, it's not for nothing that one is called as a Mahavira.
Yeah.
So it needs continuous vigilance, continuous awareness, continuous dedication.
Like keeping clear of all the things that come from outside, what all people talk as like big things and like this, and going by yourself steadfastly and like going towards it and getting it is it's that's the resolve.
Samahatma sudurlabha. So Shri Krishna, that's why she's seen through all these angles of life, and Shri Krishna has declared, therefore, to get in touch with such a established being, Samahatma sudurlabha. Which shloka is that? Can you recall? There you go.
You are there.
Yeah.
After many births and deaths.
Yeah. So this is what it is. The birth and death means after so many experiences. Because ultimately what anchors you is the Brahma Swarupa that we see in the Sadguru. Your faith strengthens by the conduct of the Brahmagnani. So therefore, so much of regard for the Sadguru. So we can keep going on. So shall we bring a kind of a, there is no end to this.
Yeah.
Now we will draw a line and say, this is where our today's contemplation ends. Sarvanji, will you?
Yeah. Right seeking. Om Asato Ma Sadgamaya Tamaso Ma Jyotirgamaya Mrityorma Amritam Gamaya. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om, lead me from untruth to truth, darkness to light, impermanence to permanence. Self is the whole. Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Om, that is complete. This is complete. When completeness is removed from completeness, what remains is complete. When completeness is added to completeness, the totality remains complete. Om, peace, peace, peace. Who am I? Nanu, Nananbadu, Nanalla, Ideha Manabuddhi Nanalla, Sachidanandatma Shivananu Nani, Shivoham, Shivoham, Shivoham. I'm not the body, mind, intellect. I'm the pure consciousness, Shiva Swarupi. I am true self is liberation. Atmadarshanam, Brahmadarshanam, Brahmadarshanam, Satyadarshanam. Recognition of self is recognition of the whole. Recognition of the whole is the truth. May all be free from suffering. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarkamiva Bandhanat Mrityur Mukshiyamamritat. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarkamiva Bandhanat Mrityur Mukshiyamamritat. Om Triambakam Yajamahe Sugandhim Pushtivardhanam Urvarkamiva Bandhanat Mrityur Mukshiyamamritat. We worship the three-eyed one, who is fragrant and who nourishes all. Like the fruit falls off from the bondage of the stem, may we be liberated from death, from mortality. Om Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. Loka Samasta Sukhino Bhavantu. May all beings be happy, healthy, and peaceful. Hari Om.
Thank you very much, Sarvanji. Thank you very much.
Hari Om, sir. Thank you.